Hi everybody, this is Boogast Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Drax figure. So before we take a look at Drax, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with the front right leg of the Cosmo Build-A-Figure. And finally, Drax comes with his knives. And man, Hasbro cheaped out on these. These have no paint detail and they're cast in just this flat gray color. These look awful. I definitely need to add a wash to them. I'm pretty sure the first knives actually had a really nice wash to them. And of course, since this reuses parts from the first Drax mold, you can put his knives down in his boots. So that looks pretty cool. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, Hasbro did an amazing job on this. It looks just like Batista. This is definitely the best likeness of Drax that we've gotten on an MCU figure. The last one wasn't too bad, but it definitely could have been better. But yeah, this one is definitely the best by far. Hasbro really did a good job on this. They even did a really good job on the facial shape. I don't feel like the previous figures quite got Batista's facial shape right, but yeah, this one does, and it looks really good. The one complaint that I do have, though, is his tattoos aren't raised like the previous two figures were. On the previous figures, they were actually sculpted on, but on this new version, they're just printed on, even on the back of his head. There is just a little bit of sculpted detail. You can see just a little bit of sculpt right there, but a majority of this is just painted on. I think I said printed on, but I meant painted on. So yeah, it would have been cool if they would have sculpted these on, but yeah, they're just painted on this time around. Drax gets his spiffy new Guardian suit, and it is very, very strange seeing him with a shirt on. It's just really weird seeing Drax in this suit, but he does look very cool in it. I feel like Drax has the best paint on all of the Guardians figures so far. You can see just a little bit of blue showing through right here, but on the rest of the lines it came out really clean. You even get some silver to the rivets there, and even the Guardians logo came out really clean. You can see the one point there in the center has some gold filled in it, but the rest of the blue isn't filled in. So yeah, I was really surprised that Drax had the best paint out of everybody. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. They do reuse the previous Drax hands from, well, the Volume 2 and maybe even the Volume 1 figures. And I feel like they look just a little small because the torso is brand new mold. I don't know. I feel like they just look a little bit tiny since they did reuse those old hands. From what I've seen of the promo material so far, Drax should actually have fingerless gloves, something this figure doesn't have. So yeah, I would have preferred him to have fingerless gloves because Star-Lord, Mantis, and Nebula all have fingerless gloves. Oh, and Rocket does too. So yeah, it's really weird they chose not to give that to Drax. And we've seen these legs reused many times before. We've seen it on the Volume 1 movie Drax, the comic Drax, and Volume 2 Drax. I do think it is weird that we didn't get any new legs for this figure, but honestly that doesn't bother me too much. I still think these legs hold up pretty well, even though they were first used in 2014. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head, but mine doesn't move at all. The hinge doesn't move, I should say. So the only articulation I can get out of mine is just what he can get there on the ball joint. So he can look up very slightly, he can't look down at all, and he can move his head side to side. So it is a bummer that this joint doesn't move. I even boiled it and it still doesn't want to move. It's like the plastic is fused deep down in here, so that does suck. He has shoulders that can move all the way out. He has swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows that can bend in that far, swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down, ab crunch that can move back all the way. He can crunch forward just about all the way. He has a swivel at the waist. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward all the way, back all the way. Very nice thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and swivel at the ankle that can move down all the way, up all the way, and a very nice rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So there he is next to his Volume 1 and Volume 2 versions. Now that I'm doing size comparisons, I realize how warped my Volume 1 Drax's leg is. He doesn't want to stand up at all. I also wanted to see if you could switch the heads on these, if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and pop these off here. So yeah, that actually works really well. So if you use the Volume 2 Screaming head on this Drax, it looks pretty nice. And if you use this new head on the Volume 2 Drax, it also looks really nice. So you can switch those, and that does look really cool. Here he is next to Rocket and Star-Lord. Here he is next to Nebula and Groot. And finally, here he is next to Kraglin and Adam Warlock. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because this is one of my favorite figures from the wave. Hasbro did a very awesome job on this, and the likeness to Batista is spot on. And you can also use that with previous Drax figures. I think that's really awesome that you can use that. The only complaint I have that's really small is that he didn't have his fingerless gloves. But other than that, this is a very, very awesome figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.